Hello, hello. Welcome to the Business Breakthrough Masterclass. I am so excited to have you guys here tonight. And you know what? We are going to just jump in. Also, let me know if you can't hear me. I don't have my headphones on tonight. I cannot find them. So I'll do my best. But if you ever feel that you can't hear me, just let me know in the chat. And I'll try to make sure that I'm super loud because I usually am. But I try to, keep it level. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Business breakthrough. This idea dropped into me, and I knew that I wanted to just bring these inspiring tips and tricks for business, for all of you who are wanting to start a business, scale a business, grow your business, or just have a breakthrough. I know what it's like to, feel stuck. And you're like, why am I stuck? Why does this feel sticky? Why do I feel like I'm not growing, right? Why do I feel like I'm not growing? Or why do I not have the courage to grow, right? And so that is my hope tonight. My hope through this transmission is that you take a little piece of information that inspires you to take action in a new way that allows you to have a breakthrough within your business, right? So have your journal ready tonight because we are going to be using it. And let's begin to breathe together. Let's go ahead and close down our eyes, or if you're moving around, that's totally fine. I just want you to connect to your breath. Let's connect to our breath and drop into this moment so that you can receive this beautiful transmission. And let's go ahead and let's take some deep breaths together, slowing everything down, taking a big breath in, holding at the top, and breathing out through the mouth. The exhale gets to be 2 times longer than the inhale, and taking a breath in through the nose, holding it at the top. Extra long exhale through the mouth. Another one in through the nose. Holding at the top. Exhaling through the mouth. Let's do one more together. Inhaling. Holding at the top. And let this be your longest exhale. So, my loves, our businesses. I want to start with a little bit of a heart transmission before I dive into the PowerPoint that I have created for you guys. But our businesses are a soul expression of who we are. Okay. They are ideas birthed from our heart, not our head. Okay. So if you are someone who you're starting a business and you're thinking about it too much, you'll probably never get it off the ground. And if you're someone who has a business and it's up and running and you're thinking about how can I scale this business? How can I grow this business? You'll probably get stuck more often than having breakthroughs. Because when we filter things through the mind, before we filter them through the heart, it creates a bottleneck. So our ideas, wherever they're coming from, it bottlenecks, it gets kind of traffic jammed. Okay. So our businesses get to be from our heart. And you guys can just take a moment to check in with yourselves right now. And you get to ask yourself, am I looking at my business through the lens of my heart and my soul? Or am I looking at my business through the lens of my mind, strategy, money, freedom? Like, how do I get out of this rat race? One, which is your heart, is the frequency of abundance. And one can be, not always, can be the frequency of scarcity when it's too much in the head. Okay. So when you're online and you hear about, a feminine business is one that's ran through the heart, is ran through, something that really brings you joy. Now, the feminine needs a masculine container to thrive. So a feminine business still needs structure, it still needs strategy, it still needs the mind, but it needs the heart first. Okay, it needs the heart first. And I was listening to Tony Robbins today and getting inspired and tuning back into my heart with my own business, with my own life, because of his transmission. And he reminded me of something so beautiful, so beautiful, which was we are here to be fulfilled in our lives and our businesses, which means we're also here to experience joy in our lives and our businesses. So it's great to have goals in our business. Okay. It's great to have goals. But if we are not heading towards those goals already fulfilled, already whole, already having fun, we won't want to grow and scale. We will unconsciously sabotage the growth of our business because we're already not enjoying what it is we're doing. Right? So joy and fun is so crucial. Fulfillment is so crucial right now. Happiness is so crucial right now within your business. Even if it's not where you want it to be, right? It's falling in love with where your business is at right now and having deep gratitude for it. Because when you have deep gratitude for your business as it is right now, you can really allow it to sit in your heart on a daily basis. And then that allows you to filter your ideas through your heart instead of your head. Your head gets to bring them to, structure and all the things. But when we live in a daily gratitude practice and we live focusing on the fulfillment of the now in the building of our business, everything changes. Everything changes. So we get to have fun as we build, as we scale, as we grow. That's the key here. We get to have fun as we build, as we scale, as we grow. So I'm going to shift and jump into my PowerPoint, but I just wanted to share that just to get the energy moving with this call tonight in this masterclass, to get you feeling into the frequency of this. And if you have a journal and a notepad for this, this is amazing. If you're catching this on a replay and you're just listening to it, maybe you're working out, maybe you're going on a walk, whatever it is, you're driving, make mental notes of this. Maybe you can make some notes in your phone as a journal prompt questions. I'm going to have a lot of journal prompt questions tonight, because tonight, or this call, this masterclass is about a breakthrough. I desire to create a breakthrough for anyone who listened to this transmission. Because when we have a breakthrough, we can grow, we can scale, and our happiness really is rooted in joy, is in growth, right? The joy in our growth. We are growth-seeking beings, and when we are not growing, we are shrinking, right? I don't really feel there's such thing as standing still. We are either growing or we are shrinking. And so my hope is through this breakthrough path, you can get that momentum of growth and feel inspired and feel like, ah, yes, this is amazing. I got this. No matter where you are at in the building of your business, in the stage of your business. So I am going to share my screen. Business breakthrough. And so I am Mikkel Rose, for those of you who don't know. Some of you, this may be your first time seeing me and learning from me. And for some of you, you've been in this world with me for, years. I'm a multifaceted entrepreneur and a visionary leader. I'm known as the coach's coach. And really, I work with entrepreneurs of all kind, but really it's illuminated and heart-centered entrepreneurs. I have worked with people all over the map when it comes to business, and entrepreneurs have my heart, and business women and businessmen have my heart. People who are making a difference on this planet. I do intuitive business mentorship, and it's done through Oracle type transmissions. I really tune into the cosmos and see what wants to come through and see what wants to be channeled. And that's really where my specialty lies. I'm an incredible strategist when it comes to seeing pathways and helping people birth ideas. A term a lot of my clients use for me is a Dharma doula. And it's so fun because I help people birth things. I also was a holistic nutritionist for 4 years. I am a 2 times published author, and I create tons of digital content, courses and lives and masterclasses. And during my entrepreneurial journey, I've had 5 businesses, and I've worked with hundreds of people in helping them build businesses. And it could be, retreats, it could be in-person businesses, dog walking businesses, coaching businesses, you name it. I have really dabbled in a lot of beautiful things. So I share this with you guys because the wisdom and knowledge that's coming through me in this transmission is coming from years of wisdom and seeing patterns with people in business, right? It's not just coming from this idea and I just pulled this out of thin air. I really started to see these patterns, and through the oracle part of me, I started to channel these. And so I'm going to walk you through these beautiful 6 points tonight and some beautiful contemplation questions for you. So before we dive completely into those 6 points, I always love to remind everybody of kind of like why people fail, or, why people, seem to struggle, because I think that's really important. And so you can see here, like, why the patterns I've seen, why most people fail to scale their business is they don't have joy and fun and play in their business, right? If we do not have joy, fun, and play in our business, why would we want to scale? And that's something that I just spoke on, right? We don't want more of something we're already not enjoying. The second thing is I see people focus solely on income or profit. And when we only focus on income or profit, it brings in that energy of scarcity, right? Yes, we all want successful businesses. We all want more money. So it's not something you shouldn't focus on. But when it's the only thing you focus on, I really see this being a reason why people fail to scale. I also see another reason is people don't have a business athlete mindset, right? And all of these points, I'm going to dive into a lot more. I have a slide on most of these points. And so when someone doesn't have a business athlete mindset, they don't have the capability to see their goals through. And I'm going to dive into that later. Another reason why I see people fail to scale in this day and age more than any other time is their resistance to social media. And that one's very self-explanatory, and I have a whole slide on it. Don't you worry, boo. Another reason is lack of vision. They fail to see what's truly possible for them in their business. Another reason is bad business boundaries. Again, that goes back to kind of no fun, no joy, no play. If you have bad business boundaries, you probably are experiencing some turbulence in your business, which then your subconscious mind will sabotage the growth of your business or the desire for growth with your business. Will also sabotage your ability to have vision for your business. And the last thing why I see most businesses fail to scale is people need to raise their prices, value their products or services more, and really understand scarcity mindset. So we're going to be diving into almost every single one of these on slides, if not all of them, at some point or another tonight. And that was what really inspired this. So let's start with business breakthrough tip number 1. Impact over income. Impact over income. When we focus on impact, this ripples into everything. It ripples into our inspiration, our creativity, and our vision, okay? And this goes like when I was talking earlier, that like focusing on just that income portion, it affects your business. It starts to create that conditional aspect, right? Like if your business were a lover, right? And you were like, I'm only going to love this person if they make money. That's conditional love, right? And your business is no different than a lover in this aspect. And when you only focus on money, it's conditional. It's like, I will love and cherish you and appreciate you as long as you give something to me. But when we reverse that and we say, you know what, I'm going to focus on impact. I'm going to focus on, you know what does my heart want to create? What is the difference I want to make? What ripple does this business want to make, right? And you pair that with, do I love doing this, right? The second sentence on here, focus on what you would love to offer and do that, right? And then ask yourself, does this also create an impact? I might have spelled that sentence wrong. I tried to correct it. But like when you focus on what you love and you know that it's also creating an impact, that is where you all will have so much inspiration and creativity flood you. You're going to have this breakthrough in your business. You're going to be like, oh my God, oh my gosh, I have a flood of ideas coming to me because I'm in alignment, right? Your heart is creating with you. There's a symbiotic relationship between your spirit and your heart and what you're doing in the world, right? I'm a very, very spiritual person when it comes to building businesses. And I know this through and through, that when I am providing impact, like for instance, even this masterclass, putting this out there, making a ripple, the universe simply reciprocates that back to me. It starts to bring that energy back to me. But I'm not doing it because I want something out of it. I'm not doing it for the income. I'm doing it from my heart. And that matters. The universe knows when you're doing something from your ego and your head, which would be focusing on the income over impact. Your impact is that heart-based mission. And it doesn't matter if you have a clothing company, it doesn't matter if you have a bakery, it doesn't matter if you have a nonprofit, it doesn't matter if you have a real estate company, it doesn't matter if you have a coaching company, you could have a crystal company. What is your impact? Right? What impact are you making? And is that paired with the love for what it is that you're doing? Right? That is what matters. So that's where I have an opportunity assignment for you to later on journal about what is it that I love doing that also can make an impact, right? What do I love doing that can also make an impact? And it can make a small impact. It doesn't have to make this astronomical impact, right? It doesn't have to change the world. It can just change one person's life. It can just change a small community's life, right? So, impact over income is my business breakthrough tip number one. And within that, I have a creative insight question for you guys, right? And if you have a journal, I'd love for you to write this down. If you're catching this on replay and you're listening, this is my question for you in this moment. My question is, how are you focusing too much on what you make versus what you provide? How are you focusing too much on what you make versus what you provide? Just letting you guys sit with that one for just a second. And we'll move on to breakthrough tip number two. So, breakthrough business tip number two is to embrace and enjoy social media. Embrace and enjoy social media. The reality is, my loves, if you are not visible in your mastery, you're not going to be calling and magnetizing your people. And no matter what business that you have, my mentor would always say this to me, like, if you are not a lighthouse, nobody can see you, right? Like, so if you are not shining bright, if you are not out there in your mastery, putting yourself out there, visible in it, you're not going to scale and grow. And so this goes back to that impact piece that we were just talking about. If you look at social media and you ask yourself, how can I make an impact online versus, oh, I need to promote myself. Oh, I need to grow my following. Oh, I need to do this because I need to get clients, right? What you're saying is social media is a must and it's not a get to. Okay. Social media is absolutely, I get to do this. Okay. I started my business when I had to like make flyers and post them at Beans and Brews and coffee shops. Like, I ran around handing them out on sidewalks so that people could come to my events and know about, the cooking classes I was hosting or the workout classes that I had. Because even 12 years ago, 11 years ago, when I was hosting things, people weren't used to seeing things online, and Facebook events wasn't a thing. And, people hosting master classes like this wasn't really a thing. You'd see the big people doing it, but you had to go out on foot. And now it's social media. Now it's at your fingertips. You can be sitting in your bedroom looking like a busted can of biscuits and reaching people and inspiring them and creating content and creating that impact in the world. So that's why I use the word embrace social media, because I know how easy it is to absolutely resist it. There are some heavy parts about social media, and you do have to develop a really healthy relationship with social media, right? You have to, because if not, it will drain your energy. And I understand that's why a lot of people hate social media, is because it can zap you. And throughout the years of being online, I've been online for 12 years now, I've had to take some major breaks because I developed an unhealthy relationship with social media. So know that it's normal to have to take breaks when you lose that balance, and or you have to figure out how to balance it in the best way that you know how. But I think when we focus on embracing it and enjoying it with impact, and we have intention with social media, right? Like, what is your intention when you show up online, right? And being very intentional about your time. Like, you're here to make an impact. And when you create strategy with social media, I know for me, that helps me so much showing up online. It allows me to sink in. It allows me to, you know, be online and to be seen, to be that lighthouse. So remember that you get to make this impact and you get to showcase your brilliance, okay? and you get to have fun, because I know social media is always constantly changing, and that's hard. It is so hard that social media is constantly changing, but that is where you get to embrace it and lean in and learn, because it is part of sharing our gifts for most people. Most people at this point in our lives will grow and scale, and monetize with the help of social media and reach more people and make an impact with this tool. So I think if you can learn how to enjoy it and learn how to embrace it, it's going to help you so much. And so I have like an opportunity assignment with social media, kind of like a social media solution here. And one of the tips is, through this solution, is educate yourself, right? If you don't know how to use certain things and you see people doing things on social media that just look epically cool, you're like, how did somebody do that? How they add that feature, how they make that reel, how they, create that transition. Educate yourself. Go learn how to do it. There are so many videos online, YouTube videos. Reach out to people, reach out to the people doing it. Follow content creators online who give tips and tricks. Educate yourself. Lean in and embrace it, and look at it as like a tool you get to master. The second thing is create a plan for your social media, right? I think when we don't have a plan, we're just loosey goosey with it. And that's how social media can kind of take over. And that's where I highly recommend bulk creating your content. You're here to make an impact. Just because you're not creating something in the moment doesn't mean that it's not impactful. And I think it'd be really incredible for you guys to, practice bulk content creating. I mean, the people I know that are making the biggest impact online right now bulk create their content, right? And they also, most importantly, they make it fun, right? They make it fun. So on here, I have like a tip for you, depending on where you're at with your business. If you were like at a brand newbie, you're just getting online, getting going, here is a 30-day outline of what you can commit to. So you know how I said, educate yourself and create a plan. Here's a plan for you. And this is a good, I would say, ground point right now in, April 2023. If you're watching this a year from now, maybe this does not apply, and I would give you a new solution, because it does change that much. But right now, in this moment, I really feel that if you want to start making a really big impact online and you want to bulk create and have fun with it, give yourself a challenge. And for beginners, try 3 carousel posts. If you don't know what those are, educate yourself. 3 posts, or like those little like tweet remakes that you see going around. 3 trending audio reels, 5 original audio reels, and 1 live per month. So that would be 30 days worth of content. If you, put that on your wall, and you take a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you go, I'm going to create this content, and then I'm going to auto post it and auto schedule it, which you can now do with inside Instagram. That's my main form of delivering content. If you use something else, you'll have to find an outside source if you want to deliver on Twitter and Facebook and things like that can post to all of them. But find a way where it's just getting out there and you're making that impact and you're visible in your mastery. And so you can spend less time on your phone and be more connected with yourself, so that you can be more inspired with your creations, right? So the more inspired you are with your creations, the more time you spend offline, the happier you are. So I think that's why it's important to like create that plan. Now, if you are an established business, I really, really challenge you for 30 to 90 days to really give this a go and try 5 carousels, 5 posts, 5 trending audios, 10 original audio reels, and 2 to 4 lives per month. Get out there, be visible, allow the world to see you. Make it simple. If you just have that and you check them off and you're done, you create them in a week, you're going to feel so, so good. Okay, so that is my business breakthrough tip number 2. My third business breakthrough tip is business boundaries. Y'all, Let's hear it for the people in the back on this one. Let's hear it for the people in the back on this one. Boundaries are sexy. Boundaries are sexy. Boundaries are sexy. I had a mentor share that with me one time, and it really, truly changed my life. I was like, oh, okay, I get this. But boundaries, you guys, when we don't have boundaries, we'll start to hate our work. It'll Work will start to feel heavy, and we'll start to experience a lot of turbulence. I know when I don't have really good business boundaries, the common things that show up in my business are, clients no showing, skipped payments, lack of committed clients, no structures to my processes. I have and these are things I've experienced in the past, like loose payment plans and no agreements and scheduling problems, always feeling behind. And you feel like you're constantly putting out fires or experiencing a lot of problems, right? That is how you know you're struggling with your business boundaries. Another way to know if you're struggling with your business boundaries is if your business is giving you anxiety, right? If your business gives you anxiety, it's because you need to set a boundary. You have a runaway train and your business is overwhelming you, right? And if you want to scale, if you want to grow, if you want to make more money, and you already feel like your business is like, tsunamiing you energetically, again, you're not going to grow because you're going to block it from growing. You're going to say, this is already too much for me to handle. And I do understand that business boundaries can be scary. Maybe we're afraid that, oh, people aren't going to want to work with us. We're going to hurt people's feelings, or it's going to feel, like, oh, is this too structured? And it's not. It honestly, I think, is the best thing you can do for people experiencing your business, clients and customers, is to have really, really clear business boundaries, right? Set the expectations up front of what it's like to work with you and your company, and be very clear and stick to them. And what you're going to start doing is you're going to start creating safety within yourself and within your business structure. When we don't have safety in something, we don't open our hearts to it. We don't open our energy to it. And so it's your responsibility to create safety in your business, right? It's your responsibility to create safety in your business. This is also where business mentors come into play big time, because you have someone to talk to and they can reflect back to you and be like, hey, maybe you can do X, Y, and Z for this solution. And it gives you that permission to set those business boundaries, right? So I have some journal prompt questions, some creative insight questions for you guys around this. Again, if you're here live, I'd love for you guys to take a moment and really feel into this, and answer these questions. Where do you know you need to tighten up in your business? Right? Where are you loosey-goosey? Like, well, I'm just kind of like floating by, kind of like, it makes me uncomfortable to set this boundary. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to, piss people off or rock the boat. I don't want people to not buy from me. Where are you loosey-goosey? Where do you need to tighten up? Run a tight ship. You're going to feel better. Where do you need to tighten up? Just allowing yourself to acknowledge that whatever comes to you first is right, is there. Another question is, what needs to change in your business? What's the first two things that come up? What do you need to change? Right? Is it your refund policy? Is it your payment structures? Is it how you onboard people? Is it how you do lead gen? Is it how how you are with your employees? Like, are you too loosey goosey with your employees? Are you doing everything, right? And you're not allowing, and you're not delegating. Do you need to hire help? Right? Do you need to say no? Do you need to raise your prices? Right? What needs to change? And then the next one is, where are your biggest power leaks? Where are your biggest power leaks? Power leaks can be, you know, your own boundaries with yourself energetically, your mindset, over promising, under delivering. Maybe you're sloppy with your work, you're not organized, right? You don't follow through with certain things. Maybe uh, you know, you give people too much reign to make decisions, right? Maybe you don't speak your truth. Where are your power leaks? Being with that, allowing you to be simple with those questions and circle back. If you're watching this in the replay, you can pause this. If you're here live, um, you know you can circle back to these questions, but just being aware of this is really, really big. Okay. Business breakthrough tip number 4. Business breakthrough tip number 4. A bigger vision, right? Y- If you don't have a bigger vision for your business, it's hard to see where you want to go with it, right? If you always look at it as like, oh, I just have a coaching business, or I just have a babysitting business, or I just have an art business, or I just have a hair business, or I just have a makeup business, or a real estate business, or whatever it is, right? I just have a blank breathwork business, meditation business, a healing business, right? You're doing it a discredit because it's not having this bigger vision. You're not breathing life into it. Like, could you imagine if you're like, oh, I just have a kid. Oh, I just have a husband. No, I have a child. I have a husband. I have a lover. I have a family, right? Like this love, like, can you have love for this business? Can you feel it? Can you breathe it? Can you say, yes, I absolutely love this, right? And then, moving more into that, like looking at your goals with that, shifting that and be like, do I have small goals for my business? Do I have a limited mindset on what I can really do within my industry, within this world? And, checking yourself, because you are unlimited. You are absolutely unlimited in your vision. It doesn't mean you have to take on more hours. That's the beautiful thing. Dreaming big doesn't mean working more. Dreaming big could be making a bigger impact, doing less in that impact and making more. Like permission granted to do less while making an impact and making more money, right? This isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. And it's about giving yourself permission to have this bigger, grander vision, to look forward, right? To look forward, to dream bigger. So I want to ask you, this is the creative insight question here, is what is your current vision with your business? Just check in with yourself. Where are you at with it? When you think of your business and you think, okay, if someone said, what do I want this to be in 3 years? What is your current vision with it? Right? Just feeling it, thinking into it, and then asking yourself, one, does this feel edgy? And if it doesn't, and even if it does, how can it feel a little bit more edgy? Right? The point of this is I do want this to feel edgy for you. Like a bigger vision. A vision is one thing, but I want it to feel edgy for you. I want it to feel almost like, ooh, could I do that? Could I do that? So I would love for you to take these questions and be able to write them down and have them for later, right? One of those questions is, how can you grow and scale your business? Right? A lot of us don't ask ourselves that. I think we get a clear vision of what we have right now, but sometimes we don't stop to check in and be like, okay, what is that this path? What is the growth and scale vision of my business? What's phase one? What's phase two? Right? What's phase three? What's phase four? Obviously giving yourself room to ebb and flow and make shifts, because none of it is ever permanent, but at least knowing that you're going somewhere. And that if phase two and phase three are no longer in alignment after phase one, okay, well, erase, scratch, and recreate phase two, three, and four. But always, being able to look forward is so big. And not looking forward in a way where it's not enough right now, but knowing that it's inspiring you, because we are always creating our reality. And I remember when I first made my edgy vision, I made this edgy vision and I was like, I want a 100K business. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. It's when I first started. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to make $100,000. Like at this point, like I was barely getting by. I had 3 jobs. I was working, 50, 60 hours a week. I had no free time. I had no idea how I was going to, scale this idea of, business. And I thought, oh, can I do it through nutrition? Can I do it through cooking classes? I didn't know. It's part of where like mentors came in, but I knew I was like, I want to make 100K. And I knew it. I said it. It felt edgy. And I set it as my, 10-year, my 10, 15-year goal. Like I was like, I can do this. And I did it in 4, right? 4 or 5 is like when I was like, oh my gosh, I cut the time in half because I just put it out there, right? And I think that's the power of having that bigger vision, is sometimes we put it out there and we manifest it a year or two later without trying, because we'd seeded it into the ground of our lives. So the next question is, how can you work less and make more? I wish this was a question I asked myself 5 years ago, 10 years ago. 10 years ago when I started business, it was all about the hustle culture, grind mode, work hard, no sleep. And no one ever like gave me permission to be like, how can I work less and make more? Like, that's the bigger vision. Like, I want to work less and make more. And I want to give that question to you guys, because I think that that's changed my business. Right now I actually work very little. I probably work anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a week. And I make anywhere, depending on the months and where I'm at, um, you know, 10K months easy with that. And that's with me not growing and scaling my business. That's me at a very mellow space. Because in the last year, what I did is I took my business down from, 15, 20, 30K months, and I scaled it down. I had to take a little bit of a pause with my business and breathe with my business. And so I could have a bigger vision. And right now I'm working on the bigger vision. So my bigger vision includes actually working less. And so what I did is I scaled down my business for now and allowed myself to focus more on the back end building things, so I can, in 3, 4, 5 years, be working less and making more. So I may work 10 hours in my current business, but I'm also devoting all of that other time to my creative projects, content creation, impact, resting, creative play, connecting with people. I just recently had, my client in town and spent time with her. And so just looking at it that way and understanding that we can work less and make more is so big. So I want to plant that seed for you. Um, and then the next thing is, what changes do you need to make in your life for you to have this bigger vision? Right? I think that that's a really important question to ask, is like, what changes do I need to make to have this bigger vision? Because a lot of the times there's something in our personal life that really needs to change, or the way that we live, the way that we think, the way that we invest, the way that we grow. We really need to pause and be like, what changes do I need to make to actually allow this bigger vision to take place? So, food for thought, my loves, things to think on. These are my creative insight questions for you, um, to start to breathe in a breakthrough. So I have an opportunity assignment for you guys, with this bigger vision. I think sometimes when we are so focused on our work and what we do, we forget to, look up and look around us and get inspired. So this is a research and development. I like to call it R&D, opportunity assignment. So if you want, in the next week, go out and research 3 to 5 people in your current industry who are making 5 to 10 times the amount of money you are right now, right? And what I'd love for you to do is see, what are they doing? Do you like their business model? And what can you mirror that feels in alignment and organic for you? So 3 to 5 people who are making way more money than you're making in what you're doing, and look at their business model. Is it something that you want to do? Is it something that you can mirror and fits your lifestyle? And I hope that it will start to seed a little bit more of a bigger fun vision for you. Okay, business tip number 5 is raise your prices. If you guys follow me online and you've been following me for some time, I echo this over and over and over and over. Raise your prices. If your business is full and you're overworked and underpaid, raise your prices. I'm gonna say it for the people in back. Raise your prices. Own your worth. It's interesting to see people who are afraid to charge their worth because they actually don't feel worthy. But the reality is this goes back to those business boundaries. Like, when you have really accessible prices, it may feel good at first. It may feel good at first when you're getting going and you're starting your business. But reality is that will result in you really hating your business. It's going to start draining you because you're going to have way more going out than coming in, right? You're going to have way more going out than coming in. So, and I mean, energy wise, like, and money is energy. So you will feel absolutely depleted. You'll find yourself, crying. You'll find yourself, uninspired. You'll find yourself, worn down. I remember personally when I had my nutrition business, I was seeing 40 to 60 people a week. Okay, this is going to blow you guys' mind away. 40 to 60 people a week. I was charging anywhere from $25 to $45 a session for 45 to 60 minutes. Okay. And I was moving people in and out of my office. I was working, and I was maybe making 5, 6 grand a month. I was, tapped out. I was overworked and underpaid. And I started to hate my business. I started to literally hate what I was doing. And I couldn't figure out why, because at one point I freaking loved it. And I thought I was so successful because I had a full business. Look at how cool I am. I have a full business. But that fulfillment piece, I wasn't fulfilled. So success without fulfillment, it wasn't success at all. And I wasn't fulfilled. And so I had to really shift my own way of showing up in my business. And I had to start charging more. I remember my first time creating packages for my business, and I started charging $650 for 3 sessions. And that was, I was trying to like do the math and be like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? And technically I jumped from, $45 sessions to $215 sessions. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, can I do this? And within months, my business was full again. And I was like, what the hell? And I've scaled, my work can be anywhere from, 1,300, a month to 25, 3,400 a month, depending on how somebody comes in. I have, smaller packages if they, want to, expand them out. But I just think back to those time frames in my life where I was charging, so little. And who knows, I'll maybe watch this video in 5 years from now or 2 years from now and be like, oh my gosh, you were charging such baby prices. And that's the beauty of growth. We get to grow, and we get to value ourselves, and our people will find us. And I'm definitely a more fulfilled person working with less people, because my work is more valuable and way more fulfilling. Um, and that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. So I'd really love for you guys to look at this and understand, like, here's your questions. What are you currently charging, or ready to charge? Like, if you don't have a business right now and you're like wanting to get out there, like, what are you wanting to charge? Like, what are you ready to charge, right? And if you do have a business, what are you currently charging? Just, acknowledge that. And then you can ask yourself, what would be really edgy for me to charge? And start there, right? Start with the edginess. And that is something like I wish I would have done sooner. I probably wouldn't have burnt out so quickly. But a good way to reverse engineer this is, if you only wanted to work 10 hours a week and still make 10K a month, what would you need to charge? That's what I always ask myself. And that's really how I was able to come up with my business strategy right now. So I could devote, 20 hours a week towards building other things within my business and on the side of my business. Is I was like, how can I devote 10 hours of time, to my content creation, to my clients a week, and still make, at least 10K a month, which honestly, you guys, is not a lot. Like, in the day and age today, like, it's not a lot when you look at taxes and what goes out. Like, those used to be astronomical things. But I love to share this business model with you guys, because it's really truly the most, I think, sustainable and obtainable at first. It's like phase one, like getting to those 10K months. That's when you really start to experience true freedom in your business. So no matter what industry you're in, I think this is a good place to be, is like, how can I work 10 hours a week and still make 10K a month? And granted, at first, you might work way more than 10 hours a week. You might work more than 10 hours a week, and that's okay. But once you get it up and going and you get your systems going, you get whatever it is that you need to do to get your business off the ground and shift it and changed, can you shift it to looking at 10-hour work weeks so that you can continue to build and learn and grow and scale in other areas of your life and business? So the last tip I have for you guys is the business breakthrough tip. This is having a business athlete mindset. And I purposely put a woman meditating, because you think of like a business athlete mindset. And yes, I absolutely, say you got to be working out. A strong body equals a strong mind. Being an entrepreneur and being a business owner is not for the faint of heart. And if you really truly want to thrive, you got to train your body and you got to train your mind every single day. Because if you're not, you will absolutely be taken out by the stress and the fear of what comes with growing and scaling a business. I would say for me, my habits, audiobooks and routines, and the movement of my body not only contributes to the success of my business, but it contributes to the fulfillment I have, and the groundedness that I have. And over the last 10 years, I would absolutely say, when I lose my ability to have a strong athlete mindset outside of business, that when I lose that, my business struggles. And when I have a strong athlete mindset, outside of business, right? Like, I'm training for life. It translates into my business. And that's why I like to call it a business athlete mindset. Like, an athlete trains every single day, multiple times a day. That's who they are. And if you're training your mind every single day to focus on your vision, to focus on the possibility, to overcome your fears, to, be strong, to move your body, to think positive, to be in this inspiring space, you're going to have a really fulfilling, successful, flourishing business, no matter what it is that you do. No matter if you change directions in 2 to 3 years from now, you will, thrive. So your mindset absolutely determines your success. And that is made in the gym. It's made in the kitchen. It's made in what you choose to listen to. It's made in your habits. It's made in your routines. This is something that you guys hear me echo time and time again, is your input equals your output. So whatever you're listening to, will depict like what you're putting out into the world. So really, really shifting that is is massive. So um, those are my main 6 tips, my loves, um, for having a business breakthrough. And you guys can rewatch this video whenever you desire. I think it's really important um, to kind of check yourself, every 6 months with these things and be like, where am I at? Where is this baseline point at? Because it's really important. It's really, really important. And then the last thing that I'm going to share with you guys through this, because I don't like to just give you, all of these ideas without also giving you, a solution to further advance you in this business breakthrough. So recently, I started downloading, and I was like, asking myself, how can I be more of an impact? Spirit, how can I be more of an impact? And I came up with these business jam sessions. I realized a big super power of mine is jamming out with people. Like, you have no idea how much I jam out with my clients and we create things. And I was like, I really feel like I'm a business jam specialist. Like, I want to jam with people. I want to plan with people. I want to, talk about these things with people, because I think that is something that I see happen very often is we struggle with, growing and scaling our business because we don't have somebody to bounce these ideas off of. We don't have someone who's in the ring with us. It's like, if you're a fighter and you're a boxer, like, you don't want someone from the sidelines that's never been in the ring telling you what to do and how to do things. Like, you want someone that's in the ring living and doing these things. And so I created this really awesome offering called the Clear the Path. And it's for you to have me as a guide to do future projections, marketing plans, creating new offerings, creating things on how do I scale my business, what are new business goals and visions that I can create for myself? What are some business solutions that, we can, mastermind together with, and any help with graphics or social media growth plans, I'm really big with. That is something I absolutely love. It's an artistry for me, Canva, and all of those things, and learning things. So what I have come up with is a couple options, and one of those is, a Catalyst Dojo, and it's one session. You can say, I just want one drop-in session with you. And I've not offered this. Like, I usually don't do drop-in sessions like this. I do containers. Like I said, you guys heard me mention, like, my monthly containers are X, and you sign on with me and you pay a monthly premium depending on what you get over those months, and you work with me and you have full on access to me, and we do a lot, and we have a plan, and we go somewhere. So this is something very new, and I'm really excited to be dropping this, which is like, come do a drop-in session with me. That is a option. So, just saying, hey, let me do a drop-in session with you. Another option is doing a drop-in session and having 1 month tech support. I have done this before, one time last year, and I really actually loved it, to, be able to drop in with someone and just kind of have them as tech support for that month, and then have them kind of bounce some ideas off of me. And sometimes that's all we need. But I also have another option too here. And this is a creative collaboration. And this is where you can actually purchase 3 sessions, where you can use those 3 sessions over the next 6 months, right? You're like, hey, can I do just drop-in sessions when it feels really aligned for me? And you just drop in, you like message me, as long as I have 72 hours, notice. And obviously I'm not going on vacation. Let's drop in. And that way you feel like you're constantly having these breakthroughs, you're clearing that path for yourself. And then the second option with that one is actually doing 3 sessions, and over those 6 months, you can have, some tech support where, you can pop in and out and be like, hey, can you give me some feedback here? So these are sessions you use when you need them, versus like with my clients, we're touching base, 3 times a month, we're really diving deep. And obviously that is still always an option, when I have the availability. But I'm offering this, and I got 3 spots for this. I'd love to see what comes through, and who wants to do this. And I think I'll have the availability for 3 spots this month. And if you're watching this at a later date and this is something that you're interested in, reach out and ask me about, my prices and my programs. Like I said, my work is really scalable. My prices vary upon what package that you're signing up for, where you're at in your business, how much hands-on that you need. It's not a set premium every single month. um, that I run. I actually, it depends on what you get and what the experience is. So everything's very custom curated. But if any of this speaks to you, be reach out and say, hey, I'd really love to see what we can create together, because I am truly, a strategic strategist, and I love being able to jam with people. So yes, thank you for joining me, and I hope that tonight was able to generate some type of business breakthrough for you in some capacity, and actually bring my face back, and that you were able to be like, wow, like, okay, this is going to be so helpful for me as I move through my own journey, and I move through my own evolution with my business. And you have those contemplation questions to go back to, and to reflect on, and to kind of like pivot and shift and be like, okay, where's my alignment here? So thank you so much for your time and joining me. I always appreciate it. I'm sending you love. I know you can do this. You're amazing. You're smart. You're brilliant. You're capable. You can absolutely do anything, and I believe in you. Right? I believe in you, because I was just a girl that wanted to not not work for someone at one point in my life, and I had people believe in me when I didn't believe in myself, and I'm living a life that I never thought I could live. So I believe in you. I believe in your vision, no matter what it looks like, no matter how off the wall it is, right? No matter if somebody else is supporting you or not. You've got this. You absolutely can do this. You can create fun, you can create joy, you can create the shifts, you can grow, you can scale, you can have your dream life, the things that you can desire. They're on their way to you. On their way to you. You've got this. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are, morning, and best wishes to you and your business.